Hello everyone, thank you for watching. I am Joey and welcome to my first game pickup videos. Oh my god. I can't speak.
Man, old generation of Total Level was way better. I mean, now he has this stupid blonde hair, dyes his hair all the time. Man, Total Level will never be the same again. Hey everyone, how's it going? Total Level here with a discussion video. Haven't done kind of these ones in a while, but want to talk about video game console generations and kind of how they'll never be the same again because, want to talk about this since next year, we're getting Nintendo's next console, right? And we're probably not that far off from possible PlayStation 6, and, you know, Microsoft might not even make an Xbox anymore, who knows? But kind of want to talk about this too because, talking with a lot of friends and all that, and we kind of agreed that this has been kind of the worst console generation ever. And not to say there's not good games, because man, there's been a lot of great games to play, especially for 2023 2024 though. There's a bit too many games, which that might be a topic to talk about too, is just how many games there have been, because that's definitely been a big problem with the video game industry and why it's kind of crashing, and why companies shutting down and people getting laid off, because yeah, it's just way too much supply and too little demand. But yeah, again, that might be a discussion next time. But yeah, for console generations, because games wise, really fun stuff. But as far as the next step in gaming and all that, we're kind of at the peak now, right? We've have so many games where now we're at a point that you can make any game you want any way you want, right? And yeah, and we knew coming in, like, pretty much with the 7th gen consoles of the 360, PS3, and Wii, right? We knew starting from there that we were starting to get to the point of there's not much more growth that gaming can take, right? And feel like the only way a console, through the hardware and all that, can really just leap up in kind of just technology and everything might be through VR. And VR took massive steps the last few years, but we're still nowhere close to being it as a full gaming experience, right? It's still pretty janky and everything. But yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about this because video game generations growing up, man, they were just so much fun, and it's too bad we're probably never going to get this again, right? Because I was a 90s kid, so, I didn't get to see the whole video game crash, didn't see Nintendo and Sega kind of jumping in with the NES Master System and things like that, right? But, still, I grew up in the 90s and got to see quite a lot of gaming generations and everything, and it was amazing, like, how we went from, like, Super Nintendo and the Genesis or Mega Drive, whichever you want to call it, to, the early stuff of 3D with PS1, Sega Saturn, and then 64. And say what you will about those early, 3D games, especially the N64, but that was mind-blowing stuff at the time. It was just incredible because now we were seeing games in a whole new perspective. Like, growing up in that console generation was just like, wow, this is incredible. And well, now we kind of look back and kind of be like, yeah, we're a lot more nostalgic for the 8 and 16-bit pixel art games, right, rather than those, kind of polygon 3D games. But still, it was just incredible. And, especially, like, maybe not the PS1 or Saturn gets as much flack as the N64 does, but say what you will about the N64, it was amazing playing it for the first time, like playing Mario 64 and climbing a tree and seeing, like, the waterfall in the background and you can walk to it was just something that people won't get to experience like that anymore, where you get to play games in a whole new way. And you know, it was just really, really cool at that time, right? And you know, even moving past that and getting into the 6th gen consoles, my favorite generation of consoles to this day still. I love the PS2, the GameCube, original Xbox, and Dreamcast. Like, love all those systems. And you know, that was mind-blowing too. Like, playing Final Fantasy X for the first time and having voice acting in a Final Fantasy game was just like, what? Because, yes, we were definitely at that time where 6th gen consoles were starting to do voice acting, but it was still very, very cheesy because, again, yeah, we've had it, you know, we've had voice acting for a while, and we got a bit of it during, you know, a lot of PS1 games, especially, where we would have it, and, but, you know, it was pretty just, cheesy, right? And, going into Gen 6, though, it was still that cheesiness, but it was just, the quality was getting up there. It was just an amazing experience during those times, during those generations, right? And then even Gen 7, where, you know, not so much the Wii, because, you know, the Wii was kind of doing its own thing, but, you know, 360, PS3, first HD kind of, you know, true HD consoles, and kind of getting into that HD gaming space. And now online for consoles was really becoming a thing, because it still wasn't super big on 6th gen stuff or anything like that, but for the 7th gen, this is where it was becoming a lot more of a, like, everyday thing, where we were getting used to having online gaming, having online stores. The Xbox Live Arcade stuff, like the summer of arcade games, was an amazing experience of, you know, having stuff like Limbo announced, and Splosion Man and Miss Splosion Man, and those were just such good times. And, you know, I loved the summer arcade, and, like, you know, every game was around like $5 to $15, something like that. It's like very, very cheap, and really great games too. And, you know, it was just awesome to see. And even for the Wii, you know, like, might not be my favorite system, but having motion controls and kind of that evolution of gaming, right, of something we haven't seen before. And, you know, because for this generation, like, I would say Nintendo's been the most innovative. But even then, it's not like it's super, like, mind-blowing. Like, the games still play the same. It was more just a hardware of, okay, you can easily play in handheld, or you can easily plug it into your TV, right? It's just a simple, just, you know, setup, right? And that was really, really cool. You didn't need like 1,000 wires or anything like that, and rocket science to set these things up. It was just kind of like, yep, it's all done. Yeah, just put in the dock, or you take it with you and play on the go. But the games themselves, you know, because I would say the Wii U was a bit more creative and innovative with the gamepad and all that, which I love the Wii U. I think it's a pretty underrated system. I know a lot of people didn't really like it or whatever, but I really enjoyed the Wii U. But yeah, we're kind of at a point now where, you know, games aren't able to be super innovative, and so we're also at a point where a lot of games are becoming kind of the same. That's why a game like Hi-Fi Rush last year was such a pleasant surprise for me, because, yeah, that game was just pure fun, and we're not getting as many of those as we did in the past also, right? But, yeah, it's just one of those things I want to kind of quickly talk about and discuss, because I can't see gaming changing that much over the years, like I said, not unless some sort of VR system really takes over. I can't really see it, you know, being this big evolution in gaming, right? So, you know, and we're also getting ready for digital consoles. You know, we have the PS5 Pro, which I don't really understand, but of course, you know, just because I'm not buying it doesn't mean other people aren't, because, yeah, already we're seeing that console being scalped and things like that. But, yeah, it's just too bad because there was nothing like growing up in different gaming consoles, especially if you were a console gamer like me, because even for handhelds, like, you know, Sega and Atari tried a little bit, but weren't like big with their successes for handhelds, and same with PlayStation, though the PSP and Vita were amazing consoles. I love both of them. Like, Sony kind of gave up on the Vita right away, though, which still bugs me. But, you know, the evolution of even handhelds of Nintendo's side with, you know, the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and then Game Boy Advance, which was like a Super Nintendo handheld, and then the DS was like an N64, and 3DS was kind of like a GameCube handheld, right? That's how I saw it anyways, and yeah, didn't really talk about Virtual Boy because don't think I really need to talk about that console, right? But, you know, it was just really something that I wish more people would get to experience, and sadly, like, I don't think we're going to have console generations the same, especially with the way consoles are delivered and announced now, like with YouTube and everything. We don't really get to have these live events anymore, at least not like it used to be. The best we get is kind of the Nintendo Directs or Sony State of Plays and things like that. It's not like having a big, you know, theater room full of people and people just announcing things on stage or things like that. And of course, with internet, we can look everything up now. We don't have commercials really for games or things like that. Like, we have ads on YouTube, but they don't feel like the same kind of commercials. We don't have like a Super Smash Brothers of the people dressing up in the mascot outfits and just beating each other up, right? We don't have a commercial like that anymore, and we don't have these commercials to really sell these consoles, flyers selling these consoles. It's just, it's very different, and yeah, gaming generation just, it's not going to be the same. And yeah, it was just really awesome to grow up with this stuff. But let me know what you think in the comments down below about video game console generations. Do you think there might be a way that we see a huge evolution in gaming at some point, or are we just kind of stuck where this is sort of the best we're going to get with games and graphics and the way we play these games and different gaming styles, right? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear all your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks, have a great rest of your day. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to see more. Hit the notification bell to be notified of any upcoming videos. Also, follow me on Twitter at TotalLevelYT, along with Twitch, also at TotalLevelYT. Or maybe you only stayed for any skits I put in my video. In that case, please stay anyways. I'm so lonely. Alright, take care and have a great rest of your day, everyone.